Hey guys, it's Miranda, and today I'm going to be showing you a free-to-play MMO called Spiral Knights, and you can play Spiral Knights through Steam in their free-to-play section. It's pretty easy to find. And one thing that I wanted to point out before I actually got into this video was that Spiral Knights is considered a free-to-play game, but is one of those free-to-play games that you actually have to pay for access at a certain point. In this case, Spiral Knights runs off a system where you use energy to pay for certain actions, like entering a dungeon, and that leaves you about 1 or 2 hours, closer to 2 hours of gameplay before you actually have to start paying to refill your energy to keep entering in dungeons. This is okay for some people, but in the future I would really like to avoid doing games like this because I honestly don't support that model in video games. I think it's just really sleazy that you would consider a game free to play and only to make people play after a certain point. I think it's just a really sleazy business model and I don't like it. That is why I actually only play Spiral Knights for like 2 hours at a time and just let my energy regenerate on its own, so I'm not giving this company any money. Sorry for the creators of Spiral Knights. Besides that, Spiral Knights is actually a really fun game. As you can see, the graphics are really adorable. They seem to be updating it pretty frequently. I'm not sure if it's just because it's kind of a newer game or if the company behind it just is pushing out more and more stuff. Either way, that's always a plus. As you can see up here, they recently just added this PvP content. It's called Blast Network, and as far as I can tell, it's just a little arena where you blow people up with bombs, which I think is pretty awesome. I mean, I haven't tried it yet because I don't have enough money to get in right now. As you can see on my HUD, I only have 5 crowns and you need 200 to enter. 200 really isn't a lot. I just don't have any crowns on me because the last time I logged off, I bought something, which is really typical. If you're just playing until you run out of energy, you get enough time to run these dungeons that are right here, as you can see in front of me. I'll actually enter one right now. You get enough money from those to craft one item, which is expensive, and by the time you do that, you're out of energy, so you just have to wait until 24 hours passes and your energy regenerates. And if I'm not being clear, over a 24-hour period you gain exactly 100 energy, so you get 100 energy per day to spend and play the game, which is about 2 hours of gameplay. So this is the dungeons right here. It's really all you do in this game is you go into these dungeons, you get the supplies and money, or crowns, the currency in this game, to buy recipes, and then you just craft those recipes for your armor, and then you progress deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper until you beat the game. I don't know. As you can see, I've only gotten to tier 1. I'm pretty close to tier 2, but I haven't been playing as much as I should have lately. This is really just a game that I play when I want to relax, because it's really just a game you can't take seriously. I mean, you can only play 2 hours at a time if you refuse to drop money on it like me. So it's just a game that I like to play to relax. It's really simple. You have your attack, which is Z. You have X, which is your shield. It goes down every time you get hit, and then it regenerates over a period of time. Spacebar switches to your secondary weapon. There are guns, and then there are bombs. I'm using a bomb, which takes time to charge up. And this is the starting area in the dungeons. I selected to play by myself, but you can play with other people. And here is the energy cost. It shows you how much it costs to go down and enter the dungeon, and it costs 10. So about every level costs 10 energy, so you can only get so far before you run out of energy, which kind of sucks, but hey, I guess that's how they make their money. Okay, so I decided to cut the loading screen out because I couldn't think of anything to talk about for a couple of minutes. So as you can see, I've entered the dungeon. It's just kind of like a little dungeon crawler. Over here you see these monsters. They're like little chameleons. One thing I really like about this game is that the monsters are super adorable, and I really like that. So I'm gonna kill stuff. I'm gonna try getting more content to you for this game as I get more time to show you guys. Like the PvP content I would really like to show you. It's just I don't have the crowns right now. So when I get the crowns, I'll probably do the PvP content and I'll show it to you guys. Because that's just a new feature they just added, and it'd be really cool to show you. So as you can see, I'm killing these things and I'm collecting the items that they're dropping. One thing that they're dropping is called heat, and as you can see down here, you can see my health, and you can see this thing called heat. This charges up as you collect more. At the end of a dungeon, or the end of a level within the dungeon, you collect so much heat that it levels up your weapons, and I think I can show you. Here are a couple of my weapons, and these are the stats. And I just crafted this shield the last time I was on, and you can see that there's this area in dark blue on the stats. Every time you level up an item using heat, it fills up some of that dark blue, so your weapons get stronger over time. The stars at the bottom are kind of like, they're not the level, they're the tier, I should say. And you have to have a certain, all your items have to be a certain tier to unlock lower tiers and go deeper in these dungeons. Like I said, I'm only on tier 1, and then most of my gear is 2 stars, or I guess I'm lying, this one's only 1 star. I think it used to be 2 stars, I could be lying though. I just need to replace a couple more items, and then I can go into tier 2, which I'm really looking forward to. I'm not spending energy on that, what are you talking about? I'm pretty sure that's a new feature, because I haven't seen that ever before. This actually is a new map that I haven't seen, which is not uncommon, I would say. Because after you've played for a couple days, you'll recognize some of the maps, you'll recognize a lot of the monsters, you'll see that you go through the same thing a lot. I'm gonna get spiked, I'm gonna get stabbed. But, they do have a lot of different maps, so I mean, it's not like there's only 2 maps and you're gonna keep seeing the same thing over and over again. It really isn't like that. It's really just a matter of you've played so many times that you kind of start seeing it over and over again. I'm pretty sure that changes the deeper you go. You'll see different maps, I'm sure. I know that if you get close to finishing tier 1, there's like this little storyline that goes along with it that's actually pretty interesting. This button right here, if you noticed, it just means all your party members have to be on that button, so you have to stay together. But when you get later on in the tiers, you'll notice that there's like a little story forming, and it's pretty cool because you get like these big boss battles, and they're not really generic boss battles. Like, you wouldn't be able to figure them out if you weren't paying attention. It's not just a stinking tank, really. You kind of have to work on it. I know that I've only done the boss battles like once or twice, and there was this one where you had to, I believe, ring a bell and then like, when the monster is nearby, you had to ring the bell, and that would stun him, and then you had to attack him during that stun. But that stun time was really short, so the fight itself actually took a really long time, and it was really difficult because you had to avoid his attacks, you had to time the bell correctly, and it was pretty difficult. Another thing I should point out, that you see these little potions that are on the ground? At the top of my screen you can see them. A lot of them are just like kind of like attacks, but there's this health capsule which I usually keep on me. I actually should use mine right now. And they're just kind of items you pick up during the dungeon, but you don't actually get to keep them when you leave the dungeon, so don't get too excited. And those other items that I'm picking up are actually items that you do get to pick up and take out of the dungeon, and they're usually crafting materials to make your weapons and what have you. Sorry, I'm not used to talking for like 10 minutes straight. Oh, am I like at a dead end? That's not good.